Welcome to Confessions by Banana Ketchup. This happened to me over a decade ago. This is my one and only experience, but it's what made me take the paranormal serious. At the time, I was working for my college's facilities management office, East Coast US college town. This was over the summer, and so my assignments for the summer were things that really couldn't be done while school was fully in session. In this instance, I had the job of going through every building on campus, room by room, verifying all the floor plans were correct and all the smoke detectors and fire alarms were accounted for and marked. So when I say every building, I mean every building, room, closet, attic, secret tunnels between building, etc. I went to a lot of creepy places and never experienced anything until this one building, and never since. This building wasn't one of the creepy ones, but it was old. White exterior, white interior. Updates with the most generic institutional look. From the inside, there was relatively little left to show its age. The wood stairwell and a few wood doors. 3 floors and a full basement-level bowling alley. Each floor was basically just a long hall with a slight bend at the end, emergency stairs at the ends, main stairwell just off from the center. I was told it wasn't used over the summer because they couldn't install air conditioning in it, so it was locked up completely. There were only 3 sets of keys to undo the lock they used when they'd lock it all up for the summer. I had one, the other one was kept in the office for emergencies, and the guy who had the third was out for a long weekend, so I know what happened wasn't anyone was messing with me. Despite no AC on a hot summer day, it was cold but muggy inside, and I didn't think anything of it. I was just happy to be out of the heat. I start going room by room. As I'm working, I hear a lot of the sort of creaks that you'd expect from a building this age, so I don't think anything of it. I finish the first floor and move up to the second. Now, it's worth mentioning, right before they lock up for the summer, they do a quick inspection of the building to make sure there aren't any appliances left plugged in or any junk that's been left behind by students, etc. All the doors to all the rooms are left wide open because of that. As I'm going room to room, one of the doors at the far end of the hall swings shut. I assume someone left the window open, which they weren't supposed to do. The air was still, no breeze, but still kinda cold, so there isn't any obvious source for air movement. I quickly go down the hall, checking all the rooms as I go, and none of the windows on the floor are open. As I got to the room that door swung shut on, I'm digging for my keys and I'm reaching to open the door. That's when I start hearing the sound of someone walking across the floor above. It was loud and distinct, the sound of heavy boots walking across a hardwood floor. It went right above where I was standing, out to the central stairwell. I figure someone must have come into the building, maybe one of the other facility staff. So I go out to the stairwell and call up. No one responds. I go up to the 3rd floor and just look around real quick, and no one is up there. I go back down to check the 1st floor, and again, no one there either. I didn't think of it at the time, but all the wood floors are carpeted over with that generic sort of office-grade carpet, so there wasn't an obvious way for the sounds I heard. I returned to that 2nd floor room where the door shut, but the door was now half open. I'm approaching it cautiously, and the door begins to swing shut, so I rush up and just cut the door before it shut. It resists, then forces shut and latches. At this point, I'm thinking someone that shouldn't be in the building must have come in behind me and was somehow running circles around me. That really didn't make sense given the building's layout, but I'm rationalizing real hard. I call out for them to open the door, nothing but silence. I dig out my keys to unlock the door, expecting to see a student or someone. I open the door and the room is empty. No windows open. Nothing. As I'm standing there scratching my head, at that moment, that same noise of boots on hardwood starts pounding through the ceiling from the floor above. Louder than before, and now running to the stairwell. So I run and follow. In the stairwell, I'm looking up, expecting to see someone. Nothing and no one. As I'm standing in the stairwell looking up to the 3rd floor, I hear a squeaking. I look further up to see at the very top of the stairwell there is a large wrought iron pulley. No rope, just a pulley attached to the ceiling, and it's turning by itself. At this point, I'm spooked, and I just snoop on out of there. I didn't say anything about what happened, but I tried to look into the history of this building, poking and prodding information out of people. I even go to the school's library to find out what I can. This was one of the original buildings on campus, something I didn't know at the time. The building dates back to before the Civil War. It was used as hospital during the Civil War, and that they were using the top floor for critically wounded. There were descriptions of people having to help hoist wounded up and bodies down the central stairwell. And yeah, that pulley is original. The blueprints show no plumbing, wiring, or anything else running through that area of the floor that could make a noise. No source for the air blowing or anything. No way for a pulley to make several complete rotations on its own. I've never had anything happen to me since, but since then I take it all serious. I don't really talk about it, and most of the few people I've told are skeptical. I think they want to believe me, but don't really. That's what happened, and I hope someone would believe me. Thank you, aka Mythos, the author. Forest encounter, still a little scared. Hey Reddit, I posted this in subreddit Paranormal first, but a lot of people suggested I should post it here as well to see if I could get some more insight. I decided to take my dogs for a walk today on one of the trails near my house. I told my husband I was heading out and wouldn't be gone long. Vansittart Woods Environmental Education Center was where I ended up. I got there around 11:30 a.m. EST and away we went. Absolutely beautiful day. Trails were totally empty, the perfect walk conditions. I had my 2 female Alaskan Malamutes with me. This is important later, I promise. We headed down the green trail since it was the shortest and went by some marsh, bogs, and the girls loved to watch the ducks. The walk was uneventful for the first little bit, just the birds chirping, trying to get some birdie loving, the wind in the trees, the usual forest sounds, and then I heard my name. Weird, but could be someone with a radio on a different trail. Both my dogs were looking in the direction that I heard it coming from. Uneasy feelings start settling in, but like every rational person, I chalk it up to an overactive imagination and continue on. Then I hear my name again, a little louder and a little more insistent, if you will. Instead of looking towards where the sounds were coming from, I look at my dogs, who are both staring in the direction of my name, and I notice that my older female's hackles were slowly rising. Time to go, she's not happy. I decided to turn around and go back the way we came. We had only gone maybe 10 minutes down the trail, so it was faster just to turn back. The sign at the trailhead said it was a 45-minute loop. I hear my name again. We walk faster because now the hackles on both my dogs are up. One is 2 years old and her daughter is 8 months old. Hackles up on a puppy is definitely a sign that she's scared. Then I notice that my dogs aren't pulling me. They're Alaskan Malamutes, they're bred to pull. Anytime we walk, literally anywhere on a leash, they're pulling. These 2 dogs are directly beside me, one on the left and one on the right. Kivlik now has a low, constant growl, like she's warning whatever she can't see to duck right off. On our way back the exact route we came, there was a log in the middle of the trail. I could see my shoe prints in the mud and my dog's paw prints heading the other direction under this log. This log was not there on our way in. It was big enough and awkward enough that we had to go around it. Not far off the trail, just a few steps. I say, "Come on, Kiv, come on, Echo, let's go." They follow reluctantly. We hustle back onto the trail. Then I hear Echo's name. She looks. Shortly after, I hear Kiv. We are now in light jog back to the car. The hairs on the back of my neck are standing up and everything in my body is screaming, "Run! Run faster!" I hear my name again, this time angry. The closer we got to the trailhead, the more desperate my name sounds. We are full on running now. When we got to the parking lot, I noticed that I can hear the wind and the birds again. I hadn't realized that I stopped hearing the birds and wind. We piled in the car as fast as I could get them in and didn't look back. Am I crazy? Did I upset something? I didn't take anything. I didn't move anything. I didn't touch anything. Anytime I take dogs on trails, I'm careful to respect nature and make sure my dogs do too. We even bring our own sticks for them to carry if they want one, so they don't take anything from the parks. Edit. I have a photo of the tree that was in our way on the way back. Rookie move, I know, stopping to take a photo, but I was positive the tree was not there on our way in. Thank you, Kivlik, the author. Thank you for watching, everyone. If you already haven't, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any new episodes. See you again soon, and until then, please, be safe.